In this video, I'm going to go over how to use similar right triangles to help us find some missing side lengths. All right. Now, we've already kind of done this activity in class. So if you're watching this video after you've done the CLT in class, this is going to be kind of just a review of that, right? If you were absent or missed it for some reason, then this will be good to watch to kind of set everything up. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to re-sketch these three triangles that are in here. You see like the green one is the large one, the kind of the light blue is the medium, and that purple one is small. So I'm going to sketch three, try my best here to sketch these. There's one, that's my large one. I'm going to do my medium one. And then finally my small one at the end. Okay? Now, to make sure that I match up with what I started, I'm going to label these vertices. So make sure you always, if you're given if you're given letters like this, make sure you use those letters when you label. All right, so my big one is going to be, this is C, and then this one is B, and this one up here is A. For my blue one, right, this one is going to be D for the right angle. Then this one is going to be C, and this one's going to be A. And then finally, my purple one is probably the easiest one that's already like that. So D and B and C. Okay? And what we proved in class is that these three triangles are all similar triangles by angle similarity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write those proportions, those relationships, comparing these side lengths. So I'll start with going from the large to the medium. So large to medium, all right? So if I put for large, if I do side length AC over side length AD, that has to be the same as, you can choose whichever one you want here. I'll do side length CB from the large over side length DC. And then my last one, the one that I haven't used yet, is my hypotenuse for my large one, which is AB, which is over the hypotenuse of the medium, which is AC. And we're never going to need three, right? When we solve for unknowns, you'll see here in a little bit with some practice examples. We're just going to need to set up a proportion with two, but it's good to know that you can use any two that you want of those three. Okay, let's go from medium to small. So same thing here. So medium to small, I'm going to go AD over CD, which is the same as DC over DB, and finally the hypotenuse is AC over CB. And the last one is large to small, so I'll do AC over CD, which is the same as CB over DB, and finally the hypotenuse of AB over CB. Now, because we know these are similar triangles, in this notes box, I'm going to put that triangle. I'm going to go from large to medium, medium to small, then I'll do large to small. But so a triangle ACB is going to be similar to triangle ADC. So let's set that up here. Triangle, that's not the letter I wanted. Let's go with ACB is similar to triangle ADC. All right, that's my large to medium. Then I'll do my medium to small. So that's going to be ADC is similar to triangle CDB. And then I'll do my large to small, which is going to be triangle ACB is similar to triangle CDB. Okay? Anyway, we'll talk a little bit in class about kind of what all this stuff ends up kind of leading to that's in this section in the textbook. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, so we're just going to use these figures to draw three different triangles, but they are similar, and then use that to help us find it. We'll talk a little bit, like I said in class, about what vocab we can use going forward to help us do this a little quicker in the future. So for now, let's focus on drawing and labeling the three triangles to find all the missing stuff. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to draw the three triangles. So there's my large one. There's my medium. And here's my small. Should probably make that one a little bit smaller. Let's try again. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so labeling this up. This is probably the hardest part here. So in labeling this, if I look at my large one, all right, so I'm focusing on, let's see if I can highlight it for you. All right, I'm focusing on this large one here. Okay, so there's the large one. And if you like kind of move it around in your mind, you should see that the 15 is going to be my base, and that 20 is going to be over here. And the hypotenuse, right, if you think about the right angle of my large one, the hypotenuse of the side length opposite that is going to be 25 units. All right, you can see right here that it goes the entire length of that hypotenuse. Okay, then for the medium size one, let me try to highlight that one for you. All right, so the medium size one is this one. Try to move it around in your mind to make sure you get the right stuff. So Z is going to be that base of that one. I'm going to have Y right there, and then the hypotenuse for my medium size one is going to be 20. The last one here, the smallest one, right? Again, move it around if you need to. All right, X is going to be that base. The let's see, the other leg is Z, and then the hypotenuse, right? Remember, this is 90. The hypotenuse for that small triangle is 15. Okay, so I'm going to use those similarity proportions that we made up in our above the notes in that first page to help me find my missing stuff. So again, try to choose proportions, or I should say ratios, that when you set them up as a proportion, you're only going to have one unknown. If you do a proportion that has two unknowns, it's not really going to help you, right? You need to find one that has one unknown. So the first thing I see is I can set up 20 over Y is equal to 25 over 20, right? You should see that those are going to be just one unknown there, all right? And if you reduce this here to 25 over 20 divided by 5, you get 5/4. Make it a little bit simpler here. So I have 5Y equals 80, or Y equals, what is that going to be? Is that, let's see, 5 one time, third, is that 16, I believe. That's right, yes. Okay, so Y is 16. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this is equal to 16. Now I can set up another one to find Z. All right, so I'm going to use, let's use 25 over 20. All right, that's using the hypotenuses from the large to the medium. So large to medium is 15 is my base, and Z is my base on that one. All right, reducing again, divided by 5, I get 5/4 equals 15 over Z. So this is 5Z equals 60. Okay, the last one. And you actually see here, I don't actually have to do this to find my missing one, X. I'm going to go ahead and do it. You can see in this problem that since I know X plus Y has to be 25 units, I can go ahead and find it. But I want to do one more proportion just to see, your brain might see it differently. So let's do, to find X, I'll do, let's see, 20 over 15, which is the hypotenuse of the medium to the hypotenuse of the small, equals, and then I'm going to do Z, which I now know Z is 12. So 12 over the base of X. Reducing, divided by 5 again, I get 4/3 equals 12 over X. So 4X equals 36. So X equals 9. That shouldn't surprise you, right? We already found Y was 16, so that makes sense that X would be 9 to add up to 25 units. All right, guys, so that's how we do the first one here with those 3 different triangles. So we have found all 3 variables. Okay, let's go to, I'm going to skip 2. I did that already. You can check out the key. Let's go to number 3. Same process for setting this up. We only need to find one, though, just Y. So I'm going to draw my big triangle. I'm going to draw my medium triangle, and then draw my small triangle. Okay, so the large triangle is right here. And again, I always try to manipulate with in my brain and move it around. So that's going to be Y is the base. They didn't tell me what this is, but the hypotenuse, right, what's opposite the right angle here for the long one, right, the biggest triangle is 7 plus 9, which is 16. All right, and then look at your medium one. That's this one here. My medium one, all right, when I manipulate it, is they didn't tell me what this is, but my height is 9, and I don't know what my hypotenuse is. And then for the last one, my smallest one, if I move that around, 7 is going to be my base. This is the right angle here. They didn't tell me what that one was, but the hypotenuse is y. Okay, so we can set up, let's see if we can figure out what we can set up here. It looks like we're going to go, let's go ahead and go from the large to small to set this up. Okay, so I'm going to go 16 over y, right? 16 over y, that's hypotenuse to hypotenuse, equals y, right, the base of my large one, over 7, which is the base of the small one. So that would be y squared equals 16 times 7. And then to get y by itself, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And so that's going to be equal to y equals the square root of 16 times the square root of 7. We actually know the square root of 16. That's 4, and 7 is a prime number, so I can't do anything with that. So y is going to be equal to 4 root 7. Okay? Now, if they gave us other variables here or unknowns, we could find the rest of the stuff, but it just says to draw the 3 triangles, which I did, and hopefully you saw why I decided to go large to small here, because this wasn't really going to help me on this one, because I don't have enough information to help me write a proportion, so I had to go large to small to find my y variable. Okay, guys, so that's it for this video. Again, check out the key. I've got 2 and number 4 worked out. Try the homework questions. If you're having trouble, right, the key thing is you gotta draw and label all 3 of these triangles. That'll help you, I think, get it started. But just give yourself some patience and grace. It's gonna take a little time to kind of see all this and manipulate it in your mind. So just remember to keep trying, persevere, and come to office hours. All right, good luck.